Okay, welcome back to SNOGA, yoga for snowboarders. My name is Sarah, if you haven't been here before. Today we are going to go over rotation. As you may know, whatever classes I teach on Zoom, either Monday or Friday, I will record a portion from that class and put it here on YouTube. For those of you who haven't been here before, my name is Sarah. This is Mobility Duo with my husband Mark. He is a doctor of physical therapy, and then I am a personal trainer, yoga instructor, licensed massage therapist, high school teacher, all of the above. We do all of that for snowboarders, and so minus the high school teaching. We just try to keep people riding harder, longer. We don't want anyone getting to 40s, 50s, 60s and being like, my body can't do the sport that I love. We want to keep you guys on the mountain as long as possible. Today, like I said, we are going to be working on rotations. And so if you are trying to go for 180s, 360s, 5.7s, anything, this is the flow for you. Okay, that was a lot. Let's get going. Okay, let's go ahead and start in our child's pose position. So knees nice and wide, tops of the feet on the floor, big toes touching, and then seated on your heels. From here, we're going to walk our hands all the way out, forehead to the floor. Extend your arms all the way out in front of you. And just breathe for a second. In and out through your nose, always. Beautiful. From here, we're going to go ahead and press up into a tabletop position. Tuck your toes under, making sure your fingers are spread nice and wide, shoulder width apart. As you press the ground away, hover your knees over the mat, and then sit your hips back over your heels and slowly start to straighten your legs. And then you can press one ankle down to the ground and then the other one heel down to the ground. Walking out the dog for a moment and just breathe. Beautiful. And then we're just going to go ahead and go into a couple of vinyasa flows to warm us up a little bit. So inhale as you come forward into that high plank position. Hug your elbows in, lower your knees to the ground as we slowly exhale, chaturanga. Pause. And then inhale. Low cobra, really engaging your legs, trying to squeeze your elbows together here, looking forward. And then exhale, press up onto your knees, tuck your toes, and press back into our downward dog. So that was the modified version of a vinyasa. So now let's go into the full version. So we're going to inhale as we come forward into that high plank position, hug our elbows in as we shift forward, slowly lower chaturanga. And then inhale, upward facing dog, pressing the ground away, looking forward, engaging the legs. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Warming ourselves up a little bit as we slowly walk our feet to our hands. Take your time, bend your knees as much as you need to. And then just ending in this forward fold. Grabbing each elbow, letting yourself hang. Make sure anytime we're in a forward fold, we have a bend in our knees here. Always important to savor low back. Beautiful, and breathe. Good. And let's slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, head up last. Nice and slow, all the way at the top. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Beautiful. From here, get your feet as close together as possible. So heels touching, knees almost touching. And then we're going to come down into a chair pose. When we come down into a chair pose, we want to make sure our knees and our ankles are squeezed together. That way we save our low back. So here we go. We're going to inhale, swoop our hands down to the ground, squeeze your ankles and your knees together as you sit your butt down, and then hands come up, chest comes up, Utkatasana, chair pose, and breathe. Good. And then we're going to bring our hands, palms together in the center of the chest into a nice little prayer. And then you're going to bring your right elbow over that left thigh, going into a little twist. And breathe. Beautiful. Slowly release. We're going to go to the other side. So left elbow going over that right thigh. Breathing here for a moment. Good. And then slowly release out of that one. Staying in that chair pose. Palms in the center of the chest for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten out your legs a little bit and fold. Exhale, good. Beautiful. Hands on your shins, half back with an inhale. And then exhale, fold. Place your hands down to the ground. Step your left foot back into a lunge position. Staying here for a moment, just opening up those hips. And breathe. Good. You can sway back and forth a little bit if that feels good for you. Beautiful. Go ahead, drop that back knee down to the ground as you slowly walk your hands back, straightening out that front leg a little bit. And always leading with your chest to your toes here. Beautiful. And then again, walking our hands forward into that lunge position, pressing up, putting your hands on your knees. And then we're going to bring our right hand back behind us. Right hand back behind, going into a little twist here. And either stay here or you can bend that back knee, grabbing onto that foot, sinking a little bit lower into your hips. Getting a little twist, a little quad, a little hip stretch. Good. Beautiful. And slowly release that foot back down. Coming back to the front, placing your hands on the ground. Bringing that back leg up off the ground. Keep your left hand where it is. As we inhale, take the right hand up to the ceiling. Beautiful. Breathing here for a moment in that twist. Try to open up that shoulder as much as possible. Good, and then exhale, bringing that hand back down to the ground. From here, we're going to inhale our hands up into a high lunge position, and then drop that back heel down to the ground, and then bringing your hands parallel with the ground. So now we're in our warrior two. Beautiful. So in that warrior two position, we should be able to make eye contact with that front big toe. So that means our knee might need to go out a little bit, and then our back feet are going to be toes and heel to the sides of the mat, while the front foot is toes to the front of the mat here. And then arms just parallel with the ground, opening up that back hip. And breathing, using some quad strength. Good. Beautiful, you guys. Let's go ahead and windmill the hands down to the ground, bringing that back foot up on the toes, and then press the ground away as we take it back into a downward dog. And then we're going to go through a little vinyasa like we did earlier. So shift the weight forward into that high plank position. Core nice and tight. Hug your elbows in as you slowly lower chaturanga. And then inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. So we took the left leg back first. So we're going to take the left leg forward first. So inhale, take that left leg up to the ceiling. Come up to your tippy toes on that right foot. As you exhale, bring that knee to your nose, core tight, shift forward into plank, knee to nose. Place that left foot in between your hands. And again, on this side, just sway back and forth and breathe, opening up that right hip a little bit. Beautiful. In and out through your nose. Good. Let's go ahead, drop that back knee down to the ground. Start walking your hands back, straightening out that front leg, chest to toes every time. And breathe. Ooh. Beautiful. Go ahead, start walking your hands back forward, bringing your hands up to your knees, sitting into that lunge a little bit. And then same thing, we're gonna bring the left hand back this time, going into that little twist. And you can either stay here or we can bend that back knee, grab onto that foot, and sit into that lunge. Good, and breathe. Little balance, little twist, little quad stretch. Good. And slowly release that foot back to the ground, bringing your hands back on either side of that front foot. Tuck your back toes under and then straighten out that leg, coming back into that lunge. Keep your right hand where it is. As we inhale, take the left hand up to the ceiling. Into another little twist. Again, open up that chest as much as possible to the ceiling. Good. Beautiful. And then exhale, bring that hand back down to the ground. From here, we're going to press the ground away as we inhale, both hands up into a high lunge. And then again, drop that back heel down to the ground. So now our toes and our heel are to the sides of the mat while our front toe is facing the front of the mat. Again, make sure you have that eye contact with that big toe and then hands out parallel to the ground, really opening up that back hip. Breathe. Beautiful. In and out through the nose. Little quad strength here. Beautiful. Go ahead, windmill your hands down to the ground, bringing that back foot up onto the toes. And then we're going to step the back foot forward. So press up, stepping that back foot forward and fold. While you're in this fold, make sure your heels and your knees are close together so you can press them together. We're going to inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, swoop your hands towards the ground, sit your butt down, chest up, Uttanasana, chair pose. And then bring your palms to the center of your chest in that prayer. Squeeze your knees, squeeze your ankles together. And then again, going into that twist. So right elbow over that left thigh, twisting that torso. Ooh, got a little pop. And breathe. Beautiful. And if you want, you can try to open up your wingspan towards the ceiling and the floor. Good. And try shutting it again, coming to the other side, staying in that seated chair position, bringing your left elbow over your right thigh, twist, and again, opening up that wingspan. Good. And bringing your palms back together, coming back to that normal chair. Squeeze your knees, squeeze your ankles. And then go ahead and stand all the way at the top. Inhale your arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Beautiful. Just closing your eyes, letting your heartbeat do what it does. Just breathe. Good. And let's go ahead. We're going to hinge at the hips, small bend in the knees, bringing our hands all the way down to the ground. So bend your knees as much as you need to. And then come up into your tippy toes as you sit your butt down over your heels and bow your head. Good. Breathe here for a second. Beautiful. And then press the ground away, bringing your hips back up to the ceiling, going back into a forward fold. Beautiful. Rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Head up last, nice and slow. We're going to go into a little bit of a balance thing. So feet together. We're going to bring all the weight into our left leg, bringing our right leg up into that backwards or upside down 4 position. And then bring both hands out in front of you, palms facing each other. So staying stable here as we open up the right hand all the way behind us, looking over our right shoulder, going into that standing balance twist. And breathe. Good. Beautiful. Slowly bringing that right hand back to center. And now we're going to take the left hand all the way back, looking over our left shoulder with an open twist. Ooh, little balance. Good. And then slowly bringing that left hand back to center as you release your hands and release your foot down, and then shake it out a little bit. Okay, same thing on the other side. Left leg is coming up, right leg is strong on the ground. Bringing our hands to face each other. And then first the closed twist. So we're going to open up that left hand, looking over that left shoulder. Balance, breathe. Good. And then go ahead, bringing that left hand back to the center. And then taking that right hand back behind us, opening up, looking over that right shoulder. Breathe. Good. Slowly bring that right hand back to center, lower the hands, lower the feet down. And then we're just going to come all the way down and take a seat onto our glutes, bringing our legs out in front of us. And then we're going to hug our knees in as we slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Going into some of our final twists, hugging your knees all the way into your chest. Breathe. And then bringing your hands down on either side of you like you're an airplane or in a T position. And then just allowing both knees to fall to the left. And then you can look over your right shoulder. And breathe. Good. Beautiful. Slowly bringing one leg up and then the other. Or you can do both at the same time. It's just a little bit harder. And then we're going to let both knees fall to the right side as we look over that left shoulder. And again, breathe. Beautiful. Good. Go ahead, allowing one leg to come up and then the other. Hugging your knees into your chest, nice and tight. We're going to do one more twist. Releasing the left leg down to the ground while we keep that right knee hugged in. And then left hand on the right knee. Right hand comes out into that T position. We might need to adjust our hips a little bit as we bring that right knee across the body. And then looking over looking over your right shoulder. Going into a nice deep twist. Allowing your rib cage to fully expand and contract. Every contraction, your knee falls just a little bit deeper. Beautiful. And then slowly releasing, taking your time, squaring your hips off as you hug your knees into your chest again. And then release the right leg down as you hug that left knee into your chest. Right hand is going to go on that knee. Left hand comes out into that T position. Again, hop your hips a little bit to bring that knee across the body and looking over that left shoulder. And breathe. Good, keep breathing. Allowing that rib cage to fully expand and contract. Good, and then slowly release, take your time. Square your hips up, hug your knees into your chest one more time. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then grabbing the outside of both feet as we bring our feet up to the ceiling, keeping a little bend in those knees. And then try to get your knees as far apart from each other as possible, going into our happy baby. You can rock from one side to the other, nice and slow. Good. Beautiful. And go ahead, hugging your knees into your chest again. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then using your legs to give you some momentum, we're gonna rock here about 7 times. 1, 2, 3, giving your spine a little massage. 4, 5, 2 more. 6, and last one, 7. Coming into a comfortable seated position. And that's it for today. Okay, that was it. Like I said before, this is just a snippet of what we do in the full hour Zoom SNOGA classes that we do all together. And so this was just a very little part of that class. There's a lot more to it. So if you're ever curious about the hour-long classes and what those include, please comment below or message me on Instagram or whatever else kind of communication there is. Email me if you need to. And other than that, I will see you guys on here next Wednesday for our next SNOGA class. But I have a couple of other things that I want to share with you guys on here as well. So we'll see if that takes the place of SNOGA or not. What do you think? Should it take the place of SNOGA or should I just add on a day? Let me know. I will see you guys soon. Have a great day.